Hello again. To continue on, I'm back. I know that some other people were maybe doing streams. Oh, Spike just went up. I didn't see him on like 5 minutes ago. He must have just gone. Oh, 20 minutes. Scottish Spike. Okay. um, that's really about it. So this might be a good time to stream. Okay. I'm sure it's going to be about the pagers. Yep. How Israel built a modern day Trojan horse, exploding pagers. What's the North Carolina bombshell? I'm a black Nazi. Oh, and a porn for. Okay, hang on. There's a Mark Robinson, conservative Republican nominee for governor of North Carolina, made some comments on a porn website more than a decade. Oh, so they're going through all his past dirt. Yeah, this is why I came rough office, and find dirt. And he referred to himself as a black Nazi and expressed for support for reinstituting slavery. Without reading any further, knowing that it's a porn site, I would say this is a kink fantasy. He enjoyed watching transgender pornography, and he referred to himself as a yeah. This is masochism. This is sadomasochism, and y'all are prying into his private personal life. Which there's a debate of how hey Sam and Shameless. There's a debate how much private life should be public if you're a public figure, etc. But I think at least what people do in their bedroom should be private, regardless of who you are. Um, all right, let me see if what his response was. CNN is reporting only a small portion of Robinson's comments, given their graphic nature. Okay, for the delicate. If you're a man on Friday night, let's see. Oh, he used to. Let's see. He was a peeping tom. We're not. I'm not going to get into the minutia of how somebody factured this. These salacious tabloid lies. That means he's guilty. This is not us. These are not our words. So he's denying. I would just say, yeah, I'm a kinky motherfucker, and I have the right to be. And y'all are in my private, personal sex stuff. Blue-eyed Jeff. Oh God. Hey, Samsonite. Sam, what's your deal with the gloves? I might be taking you out of here. You seem like you might be a troll. Um, it's just the open panel. I don't have anything in particular. It does look like the election, at least for some of us, is kind of like, now that I see these videos coming out from Hillary and Tim Walz and Kamala has made comments. Like free speech is on the referendum at the ballot box, along with abortion and whatever else your core issues are. And mine's always been free speech, individual individuality, self determination, self expression, all that shit. Allowing people to be who they are, as long as they're not hurting anybody or breaking any laws. Instead of making up imaginary social laws that only you and your friends know and then trying to get everybody else to conform to them through social policing and over socialization. Not this American. No. Um, did I pop the link? I thought I did. I did. So come on up if you want a panel. We watched the Good Luck Outlawing the Bell. What's the bell? All right, let me use my new troll overlay. Um, hey Busker, what's up? Is that you?
Yeah, how you doing?
How are you?
Pretty good. Um, this might be a little off topic from what you want to talk about,
Oh,
but
there's no topic, so if you brought one, that's great.
okay. Have you heard about this? Is so crazy, man. Did you hear about those pagers that were set up to detonate?
Yeah, we've been talking about that.
That is fucking crazy, man. Like, how did they do that? And who the fuck wants to be using a pager in this day and age? But I guess Mid East, I guess so, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, well, they said because terrorists don't use cell phones because they can be tracked, so they think by using pagers that it makes them less trackable.
But like a lot of people still have pagers. Is that what was happening?
That's what I thought. Like, why are there even companies that are making pages? But then people pointed out that things like doctors, medical personnel, etc. There's certain professions where it's common to still have pagers.
So it's like they were just blowing up random pagers. Is that what it was? On
No,
random.
so the way I heard it from CNN is Israel got a shipment of the pagers from some company in Taiwan, and then they planted the devices in the pagers with the remote switches. So Israel re-engineered the pagers. Taiwan wasn't manufacturing explosive pagers. Israel weaponized them and then
Yeah,
got them to the terrorists. But
yeah,
there's also that. But then Taiwan is saying, no, it wasn't us. There's a company in Hungary that was actually the one making the pagers. So there's a lot of confusion as to how the pagers got to Israel.
that is pretty freaking crazy, dude. That's like something out of a freaking movie.
I know. They're going to be blowing everything. Like that's the new war. Like Russia's just going to be
Right?
blowing each other up with their
God,
devices.
it's like something. It reminded me of this video game, Grand Theft Auto 5. And there's this one. Not some. They didn't have a guy didn't have a pager, but his head blew up when he got a phone call on his cell phone, and he was doing a presentation for a bunch of people. He was like, I don't know, some golden boy of some company, and he got his head blown up by his cell phone. It made me think of that, and I was like, because that's kind of basically what happened with these pagers. It just blew up. Like, God, makes you wonder.
Yeah, and no one saw that coming. So like, what else? You don't know what they have under wraps that we don't know about until they actually deploy it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I call that terrorism. That, in my opinion,
I call it warfare because Israel's in a
it,
defensive war of
dude,
aggression, like they
dude,
many times
fucking,
have found themselves in.
they're blowing up children doing that. Like,
It's the terrorist, and there are children do die in war. Like I don't like as long as I've been alive, I don't know that there's been a single war
and
that a child
innocent
didn't die
people,
in.
like there were innocent people that died from this fucking.
Yeah, there were innocent people that died on October 7th. Again, innocent people die in war. So if
Well, I
if
just
all you're
think
doing is
it's
stating a fact, that is true.
fucking underhanded. It's an underhanded move. That's all
I,
I can
I
say.
I don't have a problem with it. It's warfare to me.
It's
I think it was
fucking.
based that they
It's
did it.
cowardice, as far as I'm concerned. Blowing up
Well,
people.
I mean, they could go drop a bomb on him. Would that be less cowardly?
Well, they'd probably do that anyway.
Well, they haven't so far. Hey, Shameless, is that you?
Hey, it's me.
All right. Shameless and elegant.
What's going on, SE?
Not much, not much. Well, nobody was coming up, so I figured I'd come up.
Oh,
But
well,
it
yeah.
looks like somebody came up before I even got a chance.
Well, you're cool. It's more the merrier. How you
Well,
doing?
that's all right. Uh, don't let me interrupt you with the conversation. I didn't know where it was going for a
We
second.
were just talking about the beepers, the
Yeah,
pagers.
yeah. Like What are your thoughts on that? Like, you heard about that, right?
That, like, what are my thoughts is, do I think it's that it's real, that they're that you
Well,
know,
now I know it's
people are guilty, like, which part?
pretty sure it's real.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's kind of, I think it's just kind of chilling, to put it
I'm
like.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not
Israel's
shocked.
certainly not the only one with that capability, I would assume.
I
Yeah,
know.
I thought, like, I was under the impression, like, stuff like that was been going on for, quite a long time, like, decades.
I never heard about that. This is
Really?
the first I ever heard about that. That's fucking wild. I thought this was like,
Yeah, like, haven't you seen that, like, in movies and stuff? Like, they have stuff like that.
well, like I
Somebody
said.
was talking about a movie from 1983 with Sean Penn. I forgot what it was called. And it's a prison movie, and they have this prison guy, and they rig his a boom box or something. And he puts it to his head, and it explodes and kills him.
Ah, shit. Dude, yeah, I think I vaguely remember that.
Let me
Do you
see.
know
We
the
looked it up
title
today.
of
Let me
it?
see if I can find it.
Yeah, find that one because I vaguely remember. Give me something to look up to watch.
Bad Boys
Yeah,
from
dude, that
1983 with Ali Sheedy.
that is like, it's going on ancient at this point.
I know. Don't remind us.
You know, dude, I'm 45, so I'm like, I guess what would I be, young Generation X? Yeah, because I was born in '79.
Oh yeah, you're
I
Gen
Oh,
was like the
X.
first edition model.
It ends about 81. Technically April 81, and MTV started in I think August 81. And so right when the MTV generation begins is where Gen X ends,
right. I think it's like 66, 65, I
yeah,
believe. Yeah.
roughly. Because they go by like the birth rate. They chart the baby graph, and that's where
Mm.
the cutoff. But culturally, it's more like the death of JFK to probably I don't know. I would maybe not Gen X. How far would I carry Gen X? Maybe Kurt Cobain. I mean, you could pick some arbitrary cultural marker, but my generation for sure. 9/11 is a huge divide between, just like World War II was, between what came before it and how life was after it.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, I can relate with you, Jeff, about a lot of stuff that, you know, so many people are very confused about, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually feel like that about millennials as well. Like,
Yes.
most of that happened, like, during, because I'm a millennial, during our really pivotal years, right? Um, and
Well, the younger millennials, and like they're like borderline Zoomers, and like I think the ones that I've met and the ones I know are pretty. They had kind of the same kind of
yeah,
attitude.
I know
Are
I was in eighth
Zoomers
grade.
and
It's a
Gen
very
Z?
big difference. Yeah.
That's the same thing.
You know, I
Yep.
was Jeff. I was at one point I thought maybe my nephew was gay because he kept painting his nails and shit. Like,
And he was
Was
just a
he painting
Zoomer.
them black?
yeah, he was kind of painting him black or purple and black. It was just like
Yeah.
weird, like, but he's an artistic kind of, young man at this point. He's 27 now, so, but, yeah, I mean, he acted a little effeminate, kind
Yeah,
of.
I thought the same thing
Well,
about
we're
my
all
brother, and
non-binary.
he never painted his nails, so don't worry.
I
I've never
wasn't,
painted mine.
I wasn't worried at all. I mean, he's been with a couple girls in his lifetime, so he's been
Yeah,
with.
that's what got me. He just didn't have a girlfriend until he was like 23, and I was like, and
Yeah,
he just wasn't really a boy's boy. So I was always curious too.
yeah. Nate's he's a late bloomer, I think too. I mean,
Yes, yeah.
Um, but he's smart. He's smart about it. I just hope he doesn't get fucked over again. I mean, his first girlfriend and first and the last one he's had cheated on him, and he never acted like it really messed him up, but I could see it in his face that it did.
Mm. Well, if it was his last girlfriend, I think that's a big tell.
Yeah, well, his very first, and that was but like he's been with another girlfriend who's Egyptian American, and he's been with her for years now. She's
Oh,
blo- she's blown up. I hate to say it. They look kind of awkward because he's really tall and skinny, and she's kind of short and like kind of round and like she got some birthing hips. I don't know.
Wow.
They just look kind of awkward. But as long as they're happy, fuck it. I don't know. She just takes over his damn life. I barely get to see him anymore.
Yeah,
We
but
used.
he's a grown man.
yeah.
I
She's
know,
not
man.
taking over his life without him letting her do it.
I know. That's exactly
Yeah,
right.
I'm actually,
I'm just
I mean,
bitter.
I'm kind of experiencing the same too. My brother was never very assertive, and his new wife also really kind of came in and started running things very quickly. But he's never been that type. Even when we were young, he's never been like the type to really stick up for whatever he wanted.
You think he's happy?
Oh, he's yeah. Well, I definitely think at least he was in the very beginning. He was definitely enthralled with this girl, very happy, the type to say, "I will never get married. I'll never have kids." And met this girl and was like, "I want to marry you. I want children," and like completely changed him. Actually, I'll even say for the better. He's been a lot more of a softer person now. He was very angry during our lives, and when he met her, he really softened up as a person in a good way. Like you know, being like the emotional, supportive, good brother. Instead of being kind of cold and distant.
Oh,
Oh,
was he
he
older
seems
or
happy.
younger?
Older. He's my oldest brother. But so it seems like it seems like he's happy. I'm still suspicious.
Uh, well,
Jeff,
I mean, you never really know behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I meant to give you some context. My nephew with this girl, like, that's all fine and good, but like, I taught him how to play Cajun accordion, and it took me a long time, and we were playing music together a lot, making videos and all kinds of shit. And then all of a sudden, his job, of course, he has to, do his job and move around, do stuff like that. But then, like, somehow his girlfriend talked him into getting three dogs, a cat, and some sort of reptile. And I never see him anymore, so I'm kind of bitter about that.
Mm.
Because he's the only person I can play music with anymore. I used to play with my dad. Now
Hmm.
he's too old.
Do you have people online you could play with?
That's not the that's no, I don't. That's not gonna work anyway.
It's not the
Because of
same.
technology.
I will give my brother's wife one thing is she really pushes hard for anybody who has relationships with him to like really strengthen those relationships. Like she's always pushing him to have a good relationship with my mother, with my grandmother. That he needs to go and help with the yard work with for my
That's a
grandma.
relation. That's a good relationship. He helps with their yard work.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, he just never really would come out of his way to, come and visit and be
I
helpful.
wouldn't either if they were expecting me to mow the grass every
Oh,
time.
my grandma is 90. I
Man,
do.
Because I wouldn't trust someone
My
either if they
mother
were
does, and
pretending to
so
foster connection, but there was a
no.
secret agenda to have me do labor for them also at the same time.
Oh no, my grandmother. I mean, I do. My uncle does. We all pitch in to kind of like help out and make sure my gram still gets by. Drop off groceries and stuff, and just you come and you visit, but you come and
Yeah,
you bring. You just do little things to just show your love. I don't know. I like to show my affection through acts of service.
your love language.
Yeah.
that's cool. She made it to 90. How's
Yeah.
how's she doing health wise?
She's doing great. She's freaking.
That's
My
good.
grandmother is literally Judge Judy.
Oh,
She looks
so
she
Awesome.
looks just like her. She
Yeah.
looks identical to her. She's got the identical like voice. Like it would freak you out if you ever seen her. She is like that is Judge Judy.
I'll
that's
ask her
awesome.
for her autograph. That's kind of funny.
She raised half a dozen kids, so she did all right.
No
Six
easy
kids.
task.
Yeah.
Holy cow. That's wild.
Actually, I think Judge Judy has a bunch of kids too. So weird. It's just it's so weird. They say that there's like a certain amount of people out there, just like whoever there is. Like it's like 5 people or 7 people out there that look identical to me, and have similar personality traits, and like between like the whole 8 billion or something like that, there's going to be a certain amount of other people in the world that are almost carbon copies of you, because there's only so many. I don't know. There's just only so many outcomes
You
with
know
the
what
numbers.
I've noticed? It seems to show up very distinctly in certain races, ethnicities,
Hmm.
like Swedish people. I noticed that so many of them look so much alike. I have a friend that looks exactly like Greta Thunberg in a male way.
Well, if Greta Thunberg looks like Greta Thunberg in a male way.
Yeah, there you go. And then I don't know, like there's a lot of doppelgangers with a lot of people with Scottish heritage and Irish heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of them.
Yeah.
Which
That's
one's Tyler? Tyler's here? I thought I had blocked her. She has a sock. Oh, sorry, y'all go ahead. I was
But anyway,
doing chat.
I'm a mutt, so like I have a less of a chance of finding my copycat. You know,
yeah.
well that would
Well,
be
maybe
cool.
maybe
That'd be
that
cool.
that could be. I never thought of it that way, but I definitely have a lot of that in me. So
Yeah, and like
could be a possibility.
you could show just like simple features like that are prominent in that race or ethnicity. You know,
What's your background, Jeff?
My background? Oh,
Yeah,
you
well,
mean
it's
like
like
hair ethnicity?
heritage. Yeah.
Most Cajun, which is French. Some s- British, Scottish. We're pretty sure Scottish,
Mm.
mostly. And then my brother did a 23andMe, and we supposedly have like a point oh oh something sub-Saharan Africa. We do have some native Micmac from up in Nova Scotia and Choctaw from down in Louisiana. I think
yeah, I
that's it. That's
remember.
and I think he mentioned something like Asian. There might be a little bit of Asian in there too.
So majority is what the French and English.
European,
Then?
yeah,
Yeah.
French, English, Scottish, whatever that mix is.
Mm.
And we have a little bit of Welsh because we're related to Daniel Boone through his brother, and he was Welsh. So I know we have at least a little bit of Welsh.
Yeah, I got some Welsh in me. I have German, Welsh, Irish, and maybe French, but we can't be sure. But like the last name of
Well, the way you play that accordion, it
yeah, it's
just
kind
might.
of it's weird. Like that's like my last name sounds like it could be Cajun. So they're like
Busker Boudreaux.
Yeah, no, it's not that. But I wish I could. I wish I could dox myself, but I can't. So anyway, so like they're always like making jokes like, "What's a so and so doing in Baltimore?"
Oh,
And I'm just like, "Yeah,
oh,
man,
because your name stands out.
exactly."
Oh,
It's like it sounds Cajun to them, and they're Cajun. So young
oh,
Cajuns that I met, they were younger than me when I met them, like Wilson and Cedric Watson and
yeah, I know him.
John Pertran. And
I
yeah,
know Cedric. They're in Baltimore.
no, no, no.
Oh,
They they've been to Baltimore. I mean, they played at the oh God, what was it? Catonsville Community College. They at this place called the Barn, but it's just like a little hall at the Catonsville College, and they played there. And I jammed on stage with them, dude. I played the accordion for one song, Cajun from Church Point.
wow. What year was this?
This was probably like 2004, five. It was it was probably before I went to Louisiana, I think. Yeah, so I went in '05. I went down and stayed with Cedric and uh, Will and Jean Bertrand.
Wow, that is that's
That was
so
a
cool.
long, long time ago. And didn't I tell you that I went on the Mardi Gras run, and
Yeah.
like
Uh-huh.
Wilson was a little peeved because I wasn't dressed up for it.
Yeah,
But
that's a
like,
little weird. You would definitely stand out
yeah,
as a tourist, but we're used to that too.
I mean, like, but like, I talked him into, but like, we partied the night before the whole run, and
Probably Scottish.
he
We
probably
might have a
got,
whole clan in here.
yeah, you got Scottish in you. Yeah, that's cool.
There's
I'm
a
like,
lot of Scottish people that hang out here lately. Italian and Australian and Canadian. That seems to be our demographic.
yeah, I've seen a few Australians here and there on the panel verse and Canadians.
That reminds me. Let me promote Chris's channel. He's trying to get it to 500. He's almost there. So everybody, if you haven't checked out Chris yet, he does men's mental health stuff with a group in Australia. So give him a like, share him around to your friends if you want, and we'll try to get him to 500.
All right, I'll sub. Let me,
I'd say anybody who's been in the service too would be military service would be good, a good place for them too.
Yeah, like
He
that.
seems like a good egg. Chris seems like a good egg.
Oh yeah, yeah, he is. He has all that combat experience, like all that wisdom that you get from those situations that ordinary people would not be in.
Mm. He really seems like a bigger than life type character.
What is it like the three-fifths rule? What determines it, Proby? Is there the Italian police now, the ethnicity police?
Well, there is in Italy, even if you're like almost all Italian and you just are Sicilian and have a little bit of something else, they're like, you're not real Italian.
Oh my God, that's
wow.
tribalism. I guess
That's
it's
like 90% Italian. This they're still not Italian.
these are my
Yeah,
monkeys.
that's like neo tribalism, I guess you'd
Yeah.
say. Wow. I guess they had the same thing with the uh, well, the British and the Irish.
Mm.
They had a lot of
Even
their
the Irish and the Irish.
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. The Catholic and Protestant. They had holy wars of their own with bombs.
Now we
With
got pagers.
bombs.
Oh man. They
I'm
got
looking
this.
around at what could blow up in my house. At the laptop, the phone, maybe like the light bulbs or stuff if they start doing that, but that's everything I keep near me.
Well,
Maybe the keyboard, the mouse, the fan.
the thing.
Your headphones.
Oh yeah, shit! Look, I missed the most obvious target of all.
Well,
Oh my
I
god,
don't.
I'm already feeling paranoid.
No, man, you'll be fine, dude. But like,
The antlers.
the one thing, like the what's that? Lithium batteries are probably kind of dangerous.
Everything's dangerous and everything
Hmm.
causes cancer and everything's racist. Now, strap on and enjoy your life.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's all. It's just life is a what do you call it? Spin the
Okay,
wheel.
let's get this nasty little troll out of here. Goodbye.
Who was that?
She's another one, by the way, that was all love bombing that autism video.
Oh, Ladybug, you just got one of them. I think those things. I think they're super worth it. Super worth it. These like 23andMe's and DNA things.
Yeah, I think they're going to become more useful as we progress as a society.
Do you really think?
Yeah, we've been talking about it, effigy. That we went over the CNN reporting the other day, and that's what they said that they were modified. I that's what I assumed from the beginning that Israel had re-engineered some pagers and put them. I didn't think that the pager companies were putting bombs in the pagers.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that must. Yeah, of course they're re-engineered, and that's
No, of course not. That's gonna hurt their bottom line of profits.
yeah, exactly. It's the enemies that are doing that. The enemies of the people they're trying to blow up, and that'd be Israel.
I heard Mr. B told me the other day that there was a vote that by the UN that Israel shouldn't have the right to self defense. Did you guys hear that?
No,
I know. I was
let me look it
shocked,
up.
and the vote was like really heavy and against too, like 100 and something to like 13 or I can't remember the exact numbers he said, but
UN
it
members
was
vote to demand Israel end occupation of Palestine within 12 months. So, if I were Israel, I would just say so.
yeah, and
This
Yeah,
is
yeah that they should
Israel's
also
fight, and Israel can determine
yeah
when
that they
they
should
end it.
also that they should give up land, that they shouldn't be able to you know
Well, effigy, I'm sure they'll fight it out at the Hague or wherever. I personally have no. This is war. I have no problem with it.
yeah
I'm glad they're getting the terrorists out of the war.
yeah yeah that's how I feel.
I'm not scrupling over, and I'm pro-Israel anyway, so I don't have
I'm
any
pro
kind of
Israel.
bias
Yeah,
against
me
Jews or
too.
Jewish conspiracy that's making me think that they're not anything but benign. It's war though. Like all kind of shit happens in war. Hiroshima was probably a crime against humanity, and Pearl Harbor and all that stuff. Like where am I the only one with the realistic sense of war anymore? Like where did all this naivety
Yeah.
about war? It's like the G-rated Disney version of war that people think that we're in. That we're
It
that
was okay to make bombs out of all the like piping supplies that were given to Palestinians and give that all over to Hamas and take drinking water away from their own citizens in order to make bombs, and they everybody paraded that. It's like what? I think they even made like a video bragging about it. Hamas even made a video bragging about how
yeah, they do all kind of propaganda
they
shit.
were
Like they
using
train their
money.
kids in kindergarten with
Yeah,
terrorism videos.
I was like, what the heck? Reminds me of a
Yeah,
movie my
right.
kid does.
Yeah, we have very specific. I did a stream on this way back. There's very specific procedures against about international law. We went over what they were, and Israel was followed all of them. And
Yeah,
let me
like
read this tweet real quick that I read
that.
the other day. Let me just find it. Might take me a while. This, oh, y'all go ahead and talk. I'll just
Oh yeah, I think because you said you were about to read. I think anything like besides like
if I can find it.
like going like further. I guess like with I guess I would call it like further than the Call of Duty. I don't know how I would put that nicely. Um,
Okay,
but
here it is. The premise of international humanitarian law is that civilians will be harmed in war. So humanitarian law already takes that into account. The purpose of international humanitarian law is to mitigate, not to eliminate, to mitigate the harm caused to civilians in war. So that's the standard.
yeah, so like that's what I mean, like above the call, like
Yeah.
a citizen's gonna get harmed, but
And
that
and
doesn't
there
mean
are
you need to
bodies, there
like
are independent
R-word
bodies
a
with
bunch of
checks and balances and accountability
the
that review
victims.
all of this and make these determinations. It's not just Israel saying, "Take our word for it. We're doing it by the book."
Mm. Yeah, no, like mutilating and like R-wording like victims after you're in or in the middle of war. I don't know. I just feel like that's a little of above and beyond. I expect people to die, but I don't expect any like weird stuff to happen with any beyond. You know what I mean? Like beyond.
Well, I guess now we do.
Yeah.
Or we should even after World War II. I guess we should have, or we
Yeah.
should be.
There's I
Every
don't
new
know.
war, the enemy's going to try new innovations and new technologies and new tactics that we're not going to know until they try them. So, yeah, I think that is like that's a new tactic of modern warfare.
Yeah,
We
but
have
how
to
do
worry
you
about shooting, like internet shooters now. We have to worry about immigrate. There's all kind of new things in the modern world that we're gonna have to worry about that we never had to worry about as much before.
I think it would be so difficult to replace like my cell phone and have me not know. Like, come on.
Who are the
I know
internet
every niche in this
shooters?
phone.
Jeff, who are the internet shooters?
Like all the shooters lately that have this like they're getting all this from the internet, all this propaganda they're absorbing from the internet. The school shooters, they have all the manifestos, that kind of stuff.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
That's a to me that's a slippery slope because there's a bunch of people who, yeah, yes, criminals also end up like are like mass murderers and stuff. They end up being they like to learn about mass murderers, but there's a bunch of people like in like that just like enjoy listening to true crime or enjoy like looking at historical documents, and they don't like go, they don't go way off the deep end.
Hmm.
I remember a long time. I remember when I was young, actually, there was a lot of talk about how video games, first person shooter video
Hmm.
games, make people more
Yeah.
likely to,
And rap
become
music
mass
too.
killers. Yep, rap music. And I was like, whoa, that's slippery slope right there.
Yeah, it's the fear I think is stochastic terrorism, and that's a very un-American fear to me.
What is it called?
Stochastic terrorism,
I don't know. I don't know
where
that.
I'm gonna try to find this article that this guy did that I think covers it really well. Um, but that's what it is. It's like if you don't know where the danger is going to come from, or the terrorism, but it has the potential to come from anywhere. So like if
Mm.
somebody, like if Donald Trump goes and gives an inflammatory speech, and then there's a shooting 2 weeks later by somebody who listened to the speak, they call that stochastic terrorism. Like
Okay,
Trump doesn't have the ability to target the terrorism, but he can like inspire it or instigate it
sure.
through his speech, and then some random crazy person could take that as like a motivation to go do their version of terrorism.
That seems like a really, a really good way to put to remove accountability from self.
Yeah, but also, at least under our current legal system, you have to prove that that person actually directly had a hand. Like you can't just like pin a crime on somebody if they didn't
Thank goodness.
actively have a hand in it, and that's what stochastic terrorism does. It's a very poor concept. Intellectually, it's a poor concept. And there's this physicist that did a really good blog article breaking down why, and I'm trying to find that. It's fear based. It's not reality based. It's fear based. It's, oh my God, there's scary things in the world. There's scary people in the world, and bad things might happen. Oh my God, how can we reduce the risk of that? Well, let's just control what everybody says, and then
Yeah.
that way we're not
Oh,
going to trigger anybody to commit violence. But that's a fear based way of living. It's not an American way of living.
yeah. And not only is it fear based, it's the biggest part to me is exactly what you mentioned, which is that it could be used as a tool to restrict other people's freedom.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in America. Like I know other countries have different, I feel like different ethos around free speech, but in America in particular, that's like one of our sacred values.
Yeah. Dang Skippy.
Well, if I ever find this article, I will post it. It's from King Crocoduck. Well, what else is going on?
Mmm.
I'm just
Not
making myself a cup of coffee. I see you sipping
Uh,
over there, and I'm like, oh
yeah,
no, I
I am
gotta have
sipping.
one. I gotta have one.
I had a mocha cappuccino earlier. Oh,
Ooh, that sounds nice.
yeah, it was decent.
Anything mocha is nice,
Oh, yeah, it's good. It's good.
especially coming into the fall months. Well, I don't know where you are, but it's it's getting chilly at night here, and
Yeah, in Baltimore, Maryland. It's chilly enough, I guess. And except my air conditioner turned itself on tonight, so I don't know why. It's 69 Fahrenheit.
I'm kidding.
It's the technology.
Yep.
They're remoting it.
Yeah, nah, it's the thermostat on it. Sometimes it gets annoying. I'm like, wait a minute, isn't it supposed to be warmer than that or colder than that? Just like it has its own mind, but it doesn't.
That's what they did after 9/11. I guess that's what 9/11 did. We're now in the age of restricting freedom in the name of safety, and we were less
Oh yeah,
inclined to do that before 9/11. I think 9/11 is what shifted
yeah.
the
That was
thinking around that value.
the total catalyst for all that way of thinking and shit. Yeah.
Which I don't understand why, because I don't think many of the rules that they have instituted would have prevented like those specific. It would make sense if you're like, okay, well, these specific rules would have prevented, such and such. But I don't know that it would have. I
Yeah, I
don't.
don't know that it would have either.
I
They
Yeah.
think the Patriot Act, actually, speaking of, recently, like in the last year or so, I
What
don't
is
can't
this
pin
for?
it down. It expired though.
did they renew
Oh
it?
no
It
shit!
expired. Yep, it
Oh
expired.
wow, it was a landmark act. Let's see.
Yep.
I thought they kept upgrading it, so they were done with it then.
Section X. It inspired in sections. And 2019, it looks like might have been the last one.
Oh.
So let's see. Oh, reauthorizations. Hang on. It was reauthorized by three bills.
No.
Um, the bill reauthorized some, but not all, of the provisions of the original Patriot Act,
Hmm.
as well as the newer Intelligence Reform and Terrorism Prevention Act of 2004. So they
Yeah,
have a
the
new.
the 4.0 or whatever it is now. Patriot Act 4.0 or something. Mm.
I'm trying to see what the.
This lemon water doesn't taste too good.
Oh, it looks like they got rid of the roving wiretaps, and now they have to have specific targets for the wiretaps and reasons they're targeting them. Um, it's really technical stuff, like how long they have to notify people of searches, increased congressional oversight, for emergency disclosures, etc. I'm getting all this off of Wikipedia. In November 2019, they approved a 3-month extension, which would have expired in December of 2019. The surveillance powers were let's see, they did an amended version of the surveillance power bill, but Trump threatened to veto it, so they did an indefinite postponement of the vote. As of December 2020, the Patriot Act remains expired.
Wow.
Other than these separate like components that they reauthorized with individual bills, I guess.
I'm interested to know what those separate components are. I guess I'd have to look a little further into that.
Yeah, I'm just getting out the Wikipedia. They go into them, but it's
Sure.
it's policy nerd stuff.
I like to actually look at what the bills are. I hear so often people talk about, the bill is for this, the bill is for that. And when you actually look at the bill itself, 90% of it has nothing to do with what it's being presented as.
They have them online, I think. I know in Washington State, they put all their bills online, and every time they change anything about the bill, they put like the new version. So when you look up the bill, they have all these versions. You have to find the version you're looking for. And they also have like Zoom calls where you can go and weigh in on a bill. They have like a public comment day or something, and question and answer, so the public can give opinions on bills that are in process, and then they can possibly
I've done that
influence.
for the local stuff. I'd speak, which is kind of like weird. And it's recorded too. I think you can actually like look it up, and you can look up.
Yeah, I've been on some of them.
I didn't realize
you could pull them up. They're on the Washington State website. You could go watch me on a Zoom call.
You can see what I said. Oh my God.
But that's good. I like that citizens have that kind of access to influence over the process.
Gen X Jeff.
Hey, you. What's up?
It's Mike.
Yeah. I hope it's
Mike. You said when you say "Hey, you," it has the illusion that you don't know who it is, but it's all good.
Oh well, how would I not know who it was?
No,
I'm making a big assumption that it's Mike, because that's the most logical person.
No, it's this other guy. It's my
that would be paired with that screen name.
My man. God, it's dark in here. All right. Well, I just got home. I just wanted to say hi.
Oh yeah. Hey, welcome. That's
I like ambiance.
Life has changed. Like normally she'd be home watching TV and like, honey, I'm home, and now she's streaming, and it's like, hey, I'm home. Let me check in with your streamers and say hi to them too.
Bro, that's how I got started. Is like listen to this shit in the background for like fucking 6 months.
I love it. I want to suck the whole world into the Panelverse.
Dude, and it was like, and then she got me involved
singularity.
with this other streamer, and then it just the rest is history, you know.
I like to think that it's that we're at the very beginning of a trend, like at the beginning of AOL with the early adopters, and eventually in a few years, all of the world will be on here doing this.
Yeah, man.
I enjoy it because I find it's much easier to find like-minded individuals online than it is next door. Where that used to be much easier a few decades ago.
Yeah, it really did seem that way.
Sorry about that.
Jeff. I'm pretty sure me and Samantha are the coolest couple on the Panelverse. So.
No,
but
it might be one of the only couples. I'm trying to think if I know a lot of couples.
Yeah,
you were absolutely right, man. My friend,
there's Barnabas and his girl.
What you just said. I'm sorry. I just
maybe we'll have the community vote or something.
Okay, the nominations are Sam and Mike, and
I know it's
that's
not
it. What's your vote?
Oh, damn, these crackers.
And people who never met, that doesn't count.
Yeah. YouTube couples don't count.
Did y'all meet on YouTube or y'all were a couple? Oh
No,
yeah,
no,
you
no,
said you
no.
were.
He was my boss.
Wow,
I
that's
know
something.
that is totally not allowed anymore.
Well, when did you meet him? If you don't mind.
16 years ago now.
Wow, that's cool, man.
Yeah, so I was 20, he was 21.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Was he a good boss?
Great boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes, he did the right thing and was like, no, it's not allowed. And but I had my eyes set.
Wait, what happened? He was your boss?
Yeah, he was my boss, and
Oh, did you quit?
no, but we started like becoming a thing, and the company moved him across the nation in order to prevent that.
What?
But it was not
That-
fair because his boss was trying to get with me at the same time, and they saw that we were becoming a thing, and so they moved him to Chicago, Illinois. And like it was like maybe 4 weeks later, 2, 3 weeks, and he was like, "Nope, this isn't happening," and he flew me out. We've been together ever since.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So the move to Chicago had nothing to. It was like a business decision. It was
it was
pure
business
office
because
politics.
yeah, office politics, and they like randomly they just like up and moved him like as soon as you know the what would you call that regional boss, like the regional
Oh yeah.
boss was like also trying his hand, uh, but I was not interested,
You
and
went
he
with
was
the low status male instead of the high.
well, no, he was much older than me and like very
Oh.
aggressive and like kind of like a douchebag jock.
Well, then you probably have good instincts, and I'm
Yeah,
very jealous.
and he was totally about it, and Michael was not like that. He was like, this is I need to concentrate on work, and this was it being unprofessional, and he was just great about leading his team and doing all those things. And I was like, nope, this is
Oh.
the one that's not interested. That's the one.
Did the relationship start after you left the whatever you were working?
No, we started seeing each other before that. That's kind of why he got sent. That's what kind of why he got sent to Illinois,
Okay.
because he knew, the boss knew he was not being able to prevent it,
Yeah.
and because I also lived there, so we all also lived together. Like the company all like rented a large home, and we all lived in the house together.
Oh,
Yeah,
so it's weird from the
and I was
start.
the only woman, so it was like kind of
Wow. What kind of company was this? Like a startup?
sales.
Oh, no, the
Oh.
company didn't rent it. We rented
No, well, they rented it on their own, not their company, but
Right.
yeah. But it was like the regional.
Oh, so y'all just as adults all decided
yes,
to
as
rent
adults, we
together.
all decided to live there, but it was just like me and like 5 other guys.
Yeah, there was at least it was me, Skip, Javi, and then
The guy with the bicycle.
yeah, the guy with the bicycle, and then I think that was everyone, right? And then you were like,
So four
Yeah.
and me. They needed it though. When I went there, that house was a mess.
yeah, we needed female attention.
The poor dishes were up to the ceiling dang near. But yeah,
Well,
it's
tell him
interesting.
how you got me. Tell you how you won me over. That's the best part.
Oh, so yeah, he was totally not having it because they made us wear work uniforms, with this dang beige pants and the polo. Oh, awful work
Yeah.
uniform.
Yeah, man.
And so we all went out to a bar one night, and I was like, "Nope, this is not this is not working." And I went out and bought the sexiest dress I could possibly buy. And I asked Michael if he would dance with me, and he wouldn't. So I went and danced with his boss.
Why wouldn't you dance with her?
What are you asking, Michael?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you dance with me?
I don't know. I don't remember. I thought it was DJing. That's how I remember it.
I'm not now. I'm DJing. Leave me alone. Can't
Yeah,
you see I'm
basically.
DJing?
I mean, yeah,
DJs don't dance.
Well, Jeff,
Well,
what you have to
yes.
understand is that I had just gotten over somebody that was like I found out was like dating multiple people, and like it was just kind of like threw me for a whirlwind. So I was like not interested at this point. I'm just like, give me like 6 months without any females. I need to like figure my shit out.
No,
you know what I mean?
I would have moved on by then.
Right. So she was basically like, hey, are you into this or not? Because like I gotta move on. And then she basically went and put on this ridiculously like amazing dress that like fit her perfectly and started grinding on my boss. And then that was it. I couldn't deal with that.
Got him right there that night. I was like, if you don't, I'm 20 years old. I got about 5 more years of the clock here, and we gotta figure this out. I'm not waiting around. So yeah, a little bit of jealousy never hurt anybody.
Yeah, and she looks great in the dress, by the way, Jeff.
Is that her in the avatar?
Yes.
Oh.
But those freaking polos, those really do no justice for you.
Yes.
Like Blockbuster shirts, those types.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Best Buy.
Yep. It's exactly it. It's like the worst.
They're so
It was
90s
even
now.
blue like that too. It was even blue like that.
Oh, okay.
I used to work for fucking Joanne Fabrics.
Are you? What did you do for Joanne?
I'd unload trucks. I'd stock shelves.
Oh.
I was a cashier. All that kind of the whole, all around. I didn't do any of the cutting of the fabric. That was not my shindig. But yeah, I mean, like I only got into that because my girlfriend worked there, and I was jobless. I needed a job because I lost the job I was at before. So she got me a job there, and that was back in like what, 2000.
Is she artsy? Your girlfriend?
She was. Well, she was kind of just like, I don't know. I mean, like the way to describe Andrea, she was like culturally kind of a little bit jumbled up a bit because her dad, military, so moved her from America to Germany to England and then back to America. And I met her on WBS chat. I don't know if you remember that. It was a thing where you could have your picture up and your chat would go along with the picture. That was like way back in like late 90s maybe. Yeah. Or yeah, late 90s. I met her in 97, I guess. And but she my point was she moved around a whole lot, and she had a little bit of the British accent when she got here because she got used to it living there. Took her a while to get rid of it.
A lot of people say that they don't enjoy it, but I always thought that would be so cool. But maybe it's just because I didn't experience it, like being able to kind of travel the globe as a youth and into my young adulthood. But I guess when you're trying to make friends and establish a social circle, it's definitely not the most conducive.
This world needs major help. Do you have any? What kind of help? Go help it. Well, we're at an hour.
You had any other topics planned, or are you just shooting from the hip today?
I don't plan topics anymore because
Yeah.
it's such a random crowd that shows up.
Sure, that makes sense.
I just open the panel and hang on.
Yo, what time did you end yesterday, Jeff? Because I jumped off at like 4 something, and you were still going.
In the morning?
Well, my time. I forget what. I don't know.
It seemed like it was at least 3:30 in the morning, if not
Jesus.
4, and then I only had about 3 hours of sleep.
Bro, you're an animal.
It might be the spurgery, the like hyper focus.
Yeah. It's that satanic energy.
I think
Yeah.
he's you're on the West Coast, Jeff?
I'm in Washington.
Okay.
Washington?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
I
Well, it's
know.
probably beautiful there.
It's
Doesn't it
miserable.
rain like all the time there?
No, it never rained. I don't know what I came up here thinking that it rained like 9 months out of the year.
That's what I heard.
It mists.
Oh, it
And it's
Oh.
sprinkle.
missed.
There's no rain. Like I'm from the south. Rain is when the sky opens up and water pours down. That never happens here. I see
Got it.
rain maybe once every few years.
So it just sprinkles.
Yeah, it's misty. It's moist. It little bit of drizzle. Little bit of.
Ooh,
They don't
it's
even use
moist.
umbrellas here. Like
Moist.
only
For
if
really
you're in
more.
Seattle and you see someone with an umbrella, that is a tourist. Like no locals here even use umbrellas.
Ah,
Oh my gosh, you should see California. I remember we were doing some work out in California, and it was misting. It literally no rain. It was like just moisture in the air, and like every Californian they were like had their windshield wipers on. They had umbrellas, and you're like, "What
Oh
is
my
this? Oh my God,
god!
this weather!" And I was like, "This weather? There's no weather. It's just like humid out." It
Was
was
this north or south?
southern, very
Yes,
southern.
when I moved to LA, like my first week I was there, I had dinner plans with some friends, and it started to sprinkle. Like 3 drops fell out of
Yeah,
the
three
sky, and my
drops.
friends are like, "Did you call your friend and make sure you still have dinner plans?" And I'm like, "Why would I do that?" Well, it's raining, and I'm like, "What are you talking?" He's like, "This is LA. People cancel their plans all the time in this kind of weather." And I'm like,
Like it was
what
a
weather?
hurricane
There's
and we
it's
had
not even rain.
flooding.
And he was right because the whole conversation that evening was everybody reshuffling their plans because of the rain. I had never seen anything like it.
Me either. That's the first and only time I ever seen it. Like, we're up in the Northeast, and people are out on the road even when there's parts of the road are flooded away. People are still out.
Weird.
But in fairness, everybody here also like usually has SUVs and 4-wheel drive, and they're not driving all on you know
Oh yeah,
front
they
wheel
can handle.
drive and bald tires here. Yeah.
Yeah, I need people that can at least handle rain.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Even the snow. Everybody is out. They're not canceling school unless there's like 10 inches or plus of snow.
I love the snow. I didn't think I would do well in it. I didn't really see snow till I moved up here. But it was so much fun. You did the snowball fights and you got to play in it and build things. I'd slide down the hill. Oh my god! I had the little paella tray that I would sit in and I would slide down the big hill. They'd close the street and it would ice over it. People would snow slide. It was so much fun. I couldn't wait for snow days.
I had
Snow
my
is great. Like I feel like in the beginning, and then like once it starts to all get like
Oh yeah,
mucky and dirty,
yeah,
and you know what I mean, all the
yeah.
sand comes.
I've
But right at
waxed
first, when
many
everything is
times.
blanketed and everything looks so crisp, and
I didn't
uh,
realize I was muted. Holy shit. I was talking to you, Jeff, and I thought you were ignoring me.
Oh no,
I
didn't.
had myself muted. That's my bad. I was gonna ask you, how you felt about the humidity all the time in Louisiana.
It doesn't bother me, and I don't even notice it. And tourists come to New Orleans, and they're like sweating and hyperventilating, and the humidity, and I'm so immune to it because I grew up there. I don't even feel it.
Yeah, Maryland's got some serious humidity going on, and it doesn't do well with my MS. That's what I know for sure.
Oh,
Especially if when I was overweight, it really didn't help my MS at all. Like the heat, humidity. Cold, not so much. That's not so
it
much.
makes the cold worse because it bites into your skin. It
yes,
eats into your
definitely,
skin. I hate humidity cold.
like gets clung onto your clothes, and
Yeah.
it's hard to
Oh
warm up.
yeah, that sucks, man.
I felt like that when I went to Florida this past year, and it was just like being in a sauna the whole time, which I love. I love the
I do
heat,
too.
um, and
I
I
love
felt like,
heat.
oh my gosh, my face cleared up so much in that short amount of time.
Mhm.
It was literally like just being in a sauna forever.
They do now, not laws. I'm gonna start using that. Go to hell. I'm gonna end my show with it. Go to hell, everybody. Go to hell. You can all go to hell.
Jeff, did I ask you if you ever saw that 80s flick called Silver Bullet?
Is that about a werewolf?
Yeah. With
Somewhere in the back of my brain, I did.
Corey
I
Haim.
even remembered the VHS box. I think.
Yeah, it was Corey Haim. Yeah, it played this kid who was disabled, so he was in this wheelchair that his uncle built him this like high-powered like wheelchair that like just
It was a
sped.
Stephen King book, I think.
Yeah, it was based on Stephen
Yeah,
King's
and he
thing.
had done
Yeah,
that Salem's Lot a few years earlier.
yeah, that too. Yeah. Um, I always liked when I was a kid. I loved that movie. So much. Never saw
Ooh, something's making a lot of noise.
Sorry,
it.
All right, let's
I
see.
had a tissue.
We may have Jess coming up. If well, wait, you know, I have my troll guard now. Hang on, let me pull it up.
Troll guard.
Troll guard. All right.
Jeff, it's
Hey, Jess,
me.
is that you?
Yes. No, I'm sorry. Yes, it's me. I was about to use silly
Okay.
voice, but I was like, wait, no.
Uh, okay.
I don't want to freak him out. Sorry.
Welcome.
How's it
How are
going?
you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I don't know. Not great, but I'm hanging
Oh,
in there.
what's going on?
I will. Jeff, you do peer counseling, or you did, correct?
I did and I do. I've done it for almost 10 years now.
So you know, like Well, do you know the ins and outs of psychiatry in a sense?
Not psychiatry at all. That's medical. That's and
No.
I don't really use medication myself, so I have very little personal experience with psychiatry.
No, I was just wondering because I had to have a psych evaluation for
Oh,
some.
okay. Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and it was over the phone though. You know what I mean? So it was weird. And you
Was
know
it
me,
mandated?
how it wasn't. No, it wasn't mandated, but it was just it was something for the doctors, whatever, because
Oh,
I
okay.
some
Like as
surgery or
part of your
whatever.
medical care, they referred you for an eval.
Yeah, not because I'm crazy, but they just wanted it. But the thing is they
And
did
real
it up.
quick, Jess, before you
Sorry.
continue, your mic is
Oh,
cutting in and out, so
is
I'm
it
catching
shit?
like
It's a
every
little
half word.
crackly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Hold on, let me figure it out. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
It's a little like warbly.
I'm surprised they do any kind of evals like that over the
I
phone.
over the phone is what
Yeah,
has me
as
suspicious.
far as I know from, people who do like psychology stuff, that they're like, we wouldn't even consider thinking of anything or giving a diagnosis until like weeks after meeting somebody and really knowing them thoroughly before making any kind of determination further.
Yeah,
Is
like
that
I
better?
talk a little bit.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Much better.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, yeah, see, it was just it was really kind of just a quick psych evaluation. But so, Jeff, you know
What
me,
was it with? Like what agency was doing this evaluation? Was it an insurance company or a
it
medical
was a
provider?
medical provider.
Okay.
Yeah, they wanted because I have a surgery come up and they wanted it, it was just for it was just to
Oh, was
see
it
where I
like to
was
clear
at.
you for surgery as part of the
Kind
clearance
of.
for
Yeah,
surgery?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that
Yeah.
makes okay.
But it was weird because like I kind of had a sense she like for some reason didn't like me. But Jeff, you know me,
She don't
like
know
I
you.
stumble on my words and I stutter and I've done that, since I started. I've always like, oh, I stutter, I stumble.
Hmm.
But anyways, so she asked me questions and then she put in there that I was slurring my speech. Like I was and stuff. And I had just told her, oh, well, I stutter and I stumble in my words. But she was like saying I slurred my speech. And I'm thinking, shouldn't a doctor be like, hey, why are you slurring your speech? Are you on something or is something medically wrong with you? Because I wasn't on anything. You know what I'm
This is
saying?
something you saw in like a chart. You got to see her
My doctor
evaluation?
told
Oh.
me what the evaluation was. And then
Did he
she
let you
also had
see it,
the
or was he just like quoting it to you?
yeah, she let me see it. And then she
Okay.
also had the audacity to say that I looked disheveled, which I'm over the phone. I mean, we were, it was a telemed, but
Oh,
I,
was it a Zoom
Wait.
call?
She said over the phone that you look
well, no, it was
disheveled.
a picture. It was a picture, but
Oh,
it
the
was just my
picture.
face. You know what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying? But still, my hair was back, I would just look like a girl with a ponytail. But she said
Well,
I
her
looked
job, I think, is
I
disheveled.
just
would
to
get a
make
second opinion.
observation.
But in
Oh,
mental
but we
health, it
are.
sounds like a lot of what she's doing. She's recording observations. So what she's
Yes.
saying is descriptive, and a lot of times they describe how the patient sounds, what their appearance is like. There's this like little template they use, and they chart the
Yeah.
like little brief observations. And so
But
it's not that's not necessarily a diagnosis. That's what
No. Yeah.
she's recording the observation so that when she makes a diagnosis, she can use some of that in it. That's where I would get a second opinion
yeah,
because
we
I don't.
are, but it just really broke my heart because, like, I thought, you know what I mean? Like,
Don't
I
internalize
was,
it. The medical system, that's going to happen in the system.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect or even a decent system by any means. So
yeah,
if you're in it, you're just going to have a little bit of tolerance for that kind of
yeah,
stuff because you're
even
going to
I
encounter it
mean,
again too.
And
yeah,
she's
even the
comparing you
doctor
to
said,
everybody too. She's comparing you to her own
She's
peers.
one
Her,
person. She doesn't know
yeah,
you. It was a phone
yeah,
conversation. She's not an
exactly.
authority on you
It's
at
like
all.
she's
but it was just like, even I told the when the doctor, like, she said, I was like, disheveled, like, that's weird. And that's like a weird thing to put. And she said, yeah, that's something really strange, especially just
What did
over
they
the
give
phone.
you a
Like,
diagnosis? Like, did they come up with
no, there
anything?
was no diagnosis. It was just, they just wanted to see if I don't know. It was just to see if I was, okay. But with her saying that I was slurring and stuff, it like made it sound like I was some alcoholic. And I was like, I don't drink.
You have
Last
the
time I
right to
drank was
ask
in July.
questions. Like I would
Yeah,
question them. Like what is this? What do you mean by I look disheveled? What's that about? What do you mean I'm slurring my words? I told you I stutter and I stumble
yeah,
in
not
my
I
that,
will.
speech.
but she could actually have been well put together for her. What's her center? Nobody knows
Right. Like
what her
what
center is. She could have been well
exactly?
put together based on what her norm is. So it's hard. It's really hard to make that determination individually if you don't know the person.
Yeah, the doctor who read the report that was getting the report thought she was like, that especially that one thing about looking disheveled is strange and just not something that they would normally put over
Especially just
like
going off
the
of a
phone type
picture. Like
thing.
what I don't I could understand if she's recording an observation. Okay, this photo the person in this photo looks disheveled to me, to my eye, and
Yeah.
my sense of what disheveled means. But then did it connect to anything beyond that?
Yeah,
Like therefore I think this about this patient.
yeah, well, she was like, she said something in like the lady, she read it to me. She had said something about like me saying past when I was in my 20s, which I'm, in late 30s. And I didn't say this, but she had the idea that in my early 20s that I was some alcoholic.
Where did
And
she
so
get that
I
idea
don't
from?
know what the hell
You
she
have the
was
right to
going on.
correct your record. Like I would get your medical
Yeah,
records and correct it
I
and get
I
another
I
opinion
do. We're
with
getting
an
the
in
second
person.
opinion. Yeah,
Get
we're
another
going.
opinion and maybe even record it and then send that to your doctor too.
Yeah,
This
like
way you can
my
get
like
your own
trust in
perspective
doctors
in there.
now is like crushed. And like now when I talk to doctors, like I just like well when my doctor told me about, the record and everything, I was just in tears. I was just like, what? I was like slurring my speech and I was like disheveled. Like what did this
Why
lady
does it
think?
bother you so much that this random person thinks you slur your speech though? What are you reacting to actually?
Well, because she's
Because she's a
a
stranger.
higher up
She
and
should
she's
not have this
putting it.
power. Well, she's not a higher level. Let me dispel
Well,
that. I
that's
think
true, but it's in my
you're giving
records
her
now.
authority because she has like this social role, but that doesn't mean
That's
she's any good at what she does.
Yeah, no, that's true. But the fact that it's in my records, you know what I'm saying?
Right, that's why I would correct. I would at
That,
least correct your record. I've had doctors diagnose me with little minor things that were incorrect, and I went back and I just had I submitted a correction, and they changed my chart.
Hmm.
okay,
Or they justify why they're not changing. Like if they're going to not change it, they have to justify why they're keeping it like they are. Then they present
got
the
it. So
evidence
I
that
should
supports
speak
that
to her
diagnosis.
directly?
Yep. Nobody's gonna advocate for
Well,
you more than you.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is self advocacy. This is what you need to do. And it depends on who. I'm not sure who this lady was or what company she was with, but whoever she was with, they should have a records department. So the first thing I would do is get your records. You have the right to
Mm.
your medical
Gotcha.
records. So I would put in
Yeah.
a records request, and I would talk to them. You could call medical records if they have a medical records department, which is, if they're big enough, they should. Um, Ask them how to get your records and how to correct a record, or you could ask your doctor the same thing. You could talk to
Yeah.
your
Well,
doctor about what's in the record and what you want changed and why, so
yeah.
that your
Well, the
doctor's
doctor is
on
getting me
your
a second
page.
opinion, because I was like, this is just insane.
But if this
You
is
know what I
just
mean?
for surgery, like this is nothing to stress over. It's unless it has
Yeah.
larger implications than just clearing you for surgery.
No, I understand. It's just, I was just like, now I'm going to be all self-conscious when I talk because, I
Well, you don't have to
stumble. And
be.
I know, I don't know. It's just, it's just strange. But anyways, I don't
Wow.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. You got,
Every
Same
doctor I've
thing.
ever, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, every doctor that I've ever seen, like, they liked me. You know what I mean? They never had a bad opinion about
All
me. We
she's
always
saying is
got
you were
along.
disheveled, meaning it's an appearance standard. It's not making any kind of moral claim about you at all as a person. And the speech, the slurring was describing your speech. She could have used a different word because I associate slurring with alcohol.
Yeah, me too.
But she was describing how you sounded to her. And if they challenge her, she's gonna tell them that she sounded to me like her speech was being slurred, and her appearance to me looked disheveled. So she's just describing. It's a total stranger
Hmm.
that's describing
Yeah,
how you appear to them. They should not have that kind of power over you.
yeah. No,
It's a
that's true.
phone
And
call.
it's I know it's exactly. It's just why would I like if I go to a doctor's appointment, then yeah, I'm gonna, make sure I look presentable and everything, but I was doing work around the house and it was just a telemedicine appointment, so I pulled my hair back, you know what I mean, and
You don't have to
hopped on the
justify how you
appointment.
dress. They have fashion police at the doctor's office now. This is healthcare. This is where these are sick people.
I know.
Focus on the sick people that you're there to treat and not all this other bullshit.
shit.
That's true. 6 feet.
I
I'm
don't care
sorry.
how someone's dressed when they show up sick if I'm there to help them not be sick. What they're wearing is the least of my concerns in that moment.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part. You're right. But oh, sorry.
But
It just
when
I don't
I get my records all the time, like I'm constant when I'm in therapy or seeing a professional. Now they
know.
have my chart, which makes it easy. But like particularly mental health, when I'm seeing a
Yeah.
counselor or anybody like that, I get my records every couple of months or so. I tell them I'd like an update on my records, and they print them out for me. Sometimes there's a small fee, sometimes not, and I keep printed hard copies of my records. And if there's anything at any time in those records that um I don't agree with or that I have questions about, I talk to them at the appointment. Right, what is this in the record? What is this disheveled stuff? What is this slur of the word? Explain this to me. What is this in my record? And then they
Yeah.
explain it to me. We talk through it, and then they either answer my question or have more questions, etc.
That makes sense. Yeah.
And so
It's
you
funny.
have to stay on top of. You have to stay informed
Yeah.
about your
That's
health care and stay
it's
on
funny.
top of your doctor.
And advocate for
When it comes
yourself.
to my kid, oh God, I'll advocate the hell for him. You know what I mean? I'll be like, what But for me, I'm like, ooh, but no, you're right. I need to get what I would do for my son, do for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you know how to do it, then you have the skill set. Just apply it to you.
That's true. Oh, sorry. Thanks for listening. I knew you would know.
Yeah, Yeah, no, that's. I mean, I understand this. This happens all the time in the system, and I understand the 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 reaction to it. But
Yeah,
ultimately,
but
long term, you don't have to stay in that state.
yeah, that's true. I'm sorry, what I didn't mean to interrupt you all and what you guys
No,
were talking.
absolutely.
Yeah,
We were
Interrupt.
just talk. We were just hanging out,
You're
talking.
just hanging out.
I don't even remember about what.
Uh, you were I remember like just the person above me. How do you say your name?
be more busker.
Be more best. You were talking about. Before I hopped in, you were talking about how you felt when you're overweight and blah blah blah. I'm not sure if that was any importance
Oh,
or
with
something.
the
Oh,
humidity.
oh
Mm.
I
yeah,
Oh,
forgot.
with
when,
the MS,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. When I was,
Oh, okay.
I was definitely overweight when I first started showing signs of MS, and all through that, like getting having attack after attack after, and then I finally found out what I had, and at those attacks left so much damage that and I have primary progressive, so it's kind of it's is what it is. But yeah, the heat and the humidity when I was heavier, that really that brought on attacks.
MS is a nervous,
Yeah, it's
right? I'm
yeah.
surprised the heat isn't Is it helpful to you?
No, heat is not helpful for me. I mean, maybe for some people with MS, but not for me at all.
Sure.
It has to be dry, and it can be like the temperature can. I've lost a lot of weight, so I mean, it's totally the heat doesn't really bother me
Sure,
that
you
much.
might have run warmer because you were a little larger.
Yeah, I definitely I was much heavier back when I first had problems with MS, and noticed that the humidity and the heat made it a whole lot worse. And and it didn't help the symptoms either. I mean, like the what happens the after the attacks, the residual damage, like it keeps shining every freaking time. It's just I don't know how to describe it.
Well, my heart goes out to you. My really good friend had MS, so
Thank you. Um, yeah, I'm just living in vertigo right now.
uh
In vertigo, not in no in limbo. In vertigo,
oh.
well, vertigo too, but like kind of in limbo at the moment.
Take care, Kane. Have a good night at work.
Um, there's nothing going on in my life at all except for appointments, and that's about it. I used to play music with my nephew, but that's all gone. I used to play music with my dad. That's all gone. I used to play music downtown. That's all gone. So I feel
Oh.
like I got nothing in my life except for this. I mean, this is kind of like since I got nothing else, at least I have some people to talk to. That kind of helps, you know.
Yeah,
I
a lot of us
understand.
are in that situation. It's. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like there's ups and downs to it. Can you guys hear me all right? I just
Hmm.
this thing was tilted back a little bit, so I
I
didn't
can
know.
hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excuse me. Anyways, yeah, that okay.
No, that's understandable. I've been a caretaker since for like 4 or 5 years now. My mom passed away, and then my aunt became bedridden, so I've been stuck at home. And
Yeah,
then this panel life hit me. I was like, hey, I get to talk to people.
Yeah.
my mom and my aunt was basically being a caretaker for my grandmother, and yeah, that kind of like the familial kind of frenzy is just kind of. I mean,
Yeah, it has its ups and downs.
yeah, yeah, uh, mostly downs. When I remember my mom and my grandmom, that was just like, oh God, Mom, chill out
Would
on
they?
her for Christ's sake. You know?
Yeah. Would they get in fights? Kind of like bicker.
Yeah, but like I was pretty little. I mean, I was
Oh.
pre-pubescent, but like I felt bad for my grandmother because my mom was just like they were barking at each other though, so I didn't know who to feel bad for. That sometimes I was just like,
Yeah. Sometimes it does get overwhelming, and but it's just a little bit. I mean, you get over. I mean, both parties usually get over it pretty quick, and they go, "Love you, sorry."
yeah. I mean, like when me and my mom fight, like, and it can be like visceral, but we just like a few hours later we act like nothing happened, and
Yeah, that's how
that's
our fights are.
that's cool with me. I mean, who me and you?
No, like back home when people fight.
Oh,
The
okay,
next day they're all
okay.
friends again. A big knockdown, drag out fight, and then they're all hanging out, drinking beer the next day.
Yeah, dude, that it's kind of. I mean, I feel like maybe that's the mountain side of my family coming through. Like, cause I have my great grandfather on my mom's side was a moonshiner, and he was doing
Mm.
stuff out in the mountains and shit.
My great grandfather was moonshiner too. I
No
think a
shit.
lot of that generation was.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And he played harmonica, and I remember my great aunt was telling me when started playing the accordion, I was obsessed with the occasion accordion, and she was like, "This reminds me of James when he uh, was playing harmonica. He was obsessed with this harmonica." And it made me feel like, wow, that's kind of a cool thing, like it runs through the family like that. Music.
Yeah.
I never got to meet the guy. He died long before I was born.
Jeff, have you been back home since you've been living where you're at?
I went home last year for Thanksgiving. It was the first time in 15 years, and
Oh
I'll
wow,
probably go back this year again.
good. Do you guys have turkey, or do you guys have a craw boil, however they call it? What is it called?
Like what you call craw boil?
I said it wrong.
No, I'm gonna start calling it that now. It's a new name. We call it a crawfish boil, but craw
Yeah,
boil is way easier.
yeah, it is easier. You don't have to put the
I
fish
love
in.
it.
It's crawl boil.
I forgot when crawfish season is. I think it's already past. Because if you try to eat them out of crawfish season, it's not worth it. They don't do a lot of
Yeah,
boils outside of that.
the only real good crawfish I ever had was in Louisiana, man. I miss that.
That's the only place I would eat it. Because
Yeah.
it's that frozen Chinese crawfish.
Oh
Anywhere
yeah.
else, like
Well,
in Vegas on the buffets, I don't touch the crawfish.
oh yeah. It's all been frozen. Yeah. It's not fresh. It's kind of a cool thing to have people
Oh,
that.
November to July, so we're coming into crawfish season.
Oh,
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's coming up. Oh, they're kind of related to lobsters, right? I mean, they're just a miniature lobster.
I think so. Crustaceans, leggy. Are you out there? Let me ask my lobster guy.
They're probably
I,
like closer related than most people really know. Like the bellows, I have a bellows with fucking crawfish on it, and people keep calling it a lobster. I'm like, well, it's supposed to be a crawfish, but they're related, I think.
Yeah, it is. They're freshwater crustaceans belonging to the infraorder Astacedia, which also contains lobsters.
Yeah.
yeah. Crabs are related to spiders. That's why they freak me out when they're all
Oh
over.
yeah, dude, that is kind of creep. That used to creep me out, but I still ate them.
Yeah,
Spiders are insects, aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
They're arachnids, so they're not. I mean,
Wow, I never, they're like shelled spiders. That's kind of creepy.
It says true
yeah,
crabs are crustaceans. Yeah, it's a separate line from the spider.
Yeah, it must be, but it might. It's related in some way because I think all life
Yeah, I
is
think.
related.
Oh, they can. Yeah, they can be traced back to the subphylum level.
Yeah,
Some
that's
there's
that's
some
whenever you.
point along the tree where they do start to break off from the same branch, but it's way back.
Yeah, and like really old, millions of years ago.
Arthropody.
Yeah.
They're all arthropods. That's what it is.
Oh,
Phylum.
okay.
Because you have the kingdom, order, phylum, I think, and they keep adding new kingdoms, and it's I think there were seven phyla at the time I was teaching it.
And Baltimore crabs, I miss them, dude. Now they're like hundreds of dollars to get crabs.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Ever since 2020 happened.
Yeah, wings have gone up in price. It's
Oh
insane.
yeah, dude. I went to the Checkers, and they want $20 for fucking 30 wings. It's just like Jesus, man, Joseph.
I remember back in the day, like, back probably the 90s, but still, we'd go to this place. It's called Orlando. Oh God, I can't remember. But anyways, we get 50 wings for $15.
Yeah, man. Like and like I remember going to bars and on wing nights, man. Like you get lots of fucking good deals, and they had good
But not
sauces
anymore.
too. Most some of their sauces.
What's that?
Spicy shit. I've always been into spicy stuff, man. Do you guys like spicy stuff?
I can't do a lot of spice.
Oh man,
I sweat. I get my body. I'm too sensitive to it.
for me,
I
it's like
do, but I have GERD, so it's not good.
well, I had that for a very long time, and I started eating this stuff called DGL, and it was basically licorice root in this pill form that you get. It either tasted like licorice or they had a flavored one, chocolate flavored. And that stuff, I ate that. It took me a long time, but it got rid of it. And even that purple pill they gave me, that didn't do anything but make it worse.
You eat it with
Uh,
the spicy stuff?
Oh, I all the time.
Oh, all the time.
And I'm probably not doing my whole bowels any good, but you know, I just love it, man. That's just like, and I don't ever have diarrhea anymore because my poop is always dry. So, not to TMI, you guys.
it's
But
okay. You're probably you have MS. I know you go to the doctor all the time. You're like, blah blah. Blah. I understand.
I have bathroom issues that like people make fun of me on here, so I shouldn't talk about it.
Oh,
Oh, it doesn't matter what you say. People
it,
will make fun of
Yeah,
you, fortunately.
it's a normal thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they're
one
gonna use
thing.
anything you give them.
Anything, yeah.
I will tell you one thing. I worked at a job where it was mainly African Americans, Black people, and it was mainly that. It was mainly they. It was mainly, and it was a real culture shock, but it was a good culture shock because they were open about all that stuff. Like they had the bubble guts, or they had issues
Yeah.
like that. They'd be this straight up about it. Be like, man, my stomach, man, you won't believe what happened in the back. Oh man, and it was girls, and because we worked at a old person's home, and we worked in the dietary place, or the dining service, and they were just so open about it, and I was like, that's cool. White people, like, they don't like to talk about that type of stuff. They're like, that doesn't happen.
If
I've
any-
always been open like that. I feel like a lot of the difference, at least I noticed, is through economic economic differences. So I've
Yeah.
always been super open, but my husband's family is not like that at all. They're very like, oh my God, you can't even fart in the same room, How dare you? Don't even talk about a fart.
Oh, so it's a
You might.
class thing?
I think it's
I could.
from my perspective, it was a class thing.
Yeah, you might be. It could be a class thing.
Like Queen Elizabeth's not going to sit around talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
farting.
yeah. But my family was we've always been very open and just anything said is whatever, and it gets blown over really quickly. So
Hey Jeff,
Yeah.
it's a comfortable, very comfortable environment.
do you know anybody who has ever had Meals on Wheels food? Have you ever known anybody that has had it?
Not personally. I know there's services like that and people use them, but I haven't had any. Like I
Eventually,
haven't had any clients that I had to help set up with that.
yeah, that's on the way, but the government's being extremely slow about it. And
Bugs on wheels.
bugs on wheels. Yeah, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know what the quality of the shit is, and whatever. I'll just spend my Snap card money on the food. You know, that's all you can spend it on anyway.
Oh, you were thinking like for you a Meals on Wheels thing?
Yeah, yeah, because I'm waiting for that to kick in, but it doesn't really matter at this point because my dad can kind of help me out a little bit.
Does it you s- you still have the caseworker?
The one that she was advocating for me, and then all of a sudden she had to, um, she stopped because of her caseload. Like she didn't even tell me. It was like the new person that took her place that had to tell me on the phone. And I'm
Because
getting
I
used.
was gonna say, talk, like a caseworker should be able to help you
Oh yeah,
explore your options for that.
see that's what I've been doing. I've been working with these caseworkers, and I've had some bad experiences, and
Mhm.
I don't know what to expect because I don't know. It's on to the fourth one now.
If you're in Baltimore, they should you should also be able to find quite a few like sometimes churches have what bread lines or
Oh shit!
and they have like and they have like milk, bread, vegetables, like all kinds of stuff that can help supplement your SNAP. And you know it there'll be like different places at different days of the week we'll have them in different locations. But if you have anybody that can like your father or something that can or somebody that can because I
My
don't know how mobile you are, because I'm
well,
assuming you're in a wheelchair, right? So
well, yeah. Mostly, I'm in a wheelchair if I go out, but I my sister sometimes can get me somewhere, and rarely other family members. But like, my mom doesn't drive, so like, my
mm,
dad, he's disabled too. So it's like it's elderly, and so
yeah, it's hard.
it would be hard for him to. He wouldn't be able to push me around in the wheelchair. So like, it's like, God, or like two invalid.
Mm.
That's so crazy. And like he has a neurological issues because he broke some vertebrae when he got drunk one night. Just fucking fell on his back.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of clumsy like that. He's been clumsy all his life, but like when he gets drunk, dude, holy shit. I'm a little bit clumsy myself, but I mean, I'm very careful because I have MS, and if I'm gonna be sloppy like that, I gotta be very fucking careful. Stay near my bed. But I'm not too into the alcohol like I was. It just makes you feel like shit the next day.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
it's a fucking.
Oh, Caldy's saying churches.
Yeah, the churches are frigging amazing.
In fact, I have a church up the street. I can probably get some grub from. I never thought
They're
about
gonna
it.
have better food anyway. Like,
Yeah, yeah, by far.
They
And a
might.
lot of times it'll come from like the local it's just coming from local grocery
Soul food.
stores, bakeries, all that stuff. Like they have to throw that stuff away, and they're throwing away pretty much perfectly good food. Or once it gets too close to expiration date, they
Yeah.
and they give all of that stuff. Like trucks and trucks of it come.
Yeah,
Like a
I'm
bunch
glad,
of the churches near me all do that.
glad you
Yeah,
mentioned it.
this what Caldy said.
Might be a day where I'm gonna need to go up to that church and see what they've got to offer. I mean, I know my mom went to that church a long time. I don't know if they still do that thing,
Even
but
if they don't, they can point you in the right direction of
right
where.
direction. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
there's lots of churches all around Baltimore. I mean, it's tons of them.
Yeah, you're in a city area, so right,
Yeah,
yeah, that's the way it is here. And like you can go almost every day, like if you have a car, if you're in a normal situation, where you're mobile, you'd be able to go nearly every day. Even some places that are serving hot meals at the middle of the morning, noon, and at night at different times. And then there's places that give you groceries, and you come with bags, and they'll just fill up like 4 large bags filled with stuff, whatever, take what you want and leave what you don't want.
that's pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't.
my I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Do they let you have free reign of what they've got? I don't want to be a hog or
No,
nothing.
no, no. So
Tell me
what
you want an extra
usually
piece of chicken.
what it usually happens is you stand in a line, and it's first come first serve, and the like whatever's there, like there's going to be, if there's a lot of something, everybody will probably get one. But if there's not a lot of something, it's whoever picks it first, and they'll give you a certain amount. Like at the beginning of the line, you're like, okay, you're getting 3 apples each, or 1 bag of potatoes each, or and if you're there and there's something specific that you like, you can ask the workers there, and you could be like, this is something that I like in my diet. Can I get a little bit extra? And they'll always throw you a little bit extra, if it's something that you like.
I wish.
And then if you want, and you really like something specific, you can wait until the line is done, and you can go, because it takes like 20 minutes or something for the line, I think, about 20 minutes for the whole line. And you could just wait and just be like, hey, is there still, such and such? Is there still milk left? Is there still whatever greens or
I haven't cooked in so many years, and it's been well over a decade. And all I've been eating is microwave stuff because I can't do much of any fucking cooking anymore.
mm,
I used to cook all the time. I was like fucking. I used to make gumbo. I used to make curry, chili, spaghetti. I used to do all of it, and then at the end, so now I'm just eating microwave shit. It is what it is.
makes sense. Hey, you can kind of like halfy it. Like I make these, like, they're like ramen noodles or cup of noodles, because I like the cup of noodles better than the ramen. But I just kind of like zhuzh it up a little bit, I call it, and I add some flash frozen vegetables
Oh
to
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
then I get the rotisserie chickens, and so I just slice up some of the chicken breasts, and fry that in a little bit of butter, and so I put that all spread on top, and put it, maybe an egg in there, medium well, and so it starts off as just the microwave meal, but you can really, with some boiled water and a little bit of sliced chicken, you can really fancy up some microwave meals.
Yeah, I do that every time I eat. I put lots of spice in it, lots of garlic, lots of.
There you go.
If it's spaghetti, I'll add like seasoning, black garlic powder. Have you ever had black
Oh
garlic
my
powder?
gosh, I just had it for the first time, and I
Oh,
like super messed it up. I didn't realize how strong it was.
Ugh.
yeah,
It is so strong. I put the tiniest amount, and it seemed like it was so overpowering, so much. I didn't.
yeah. I mean, like it's easy to overuse. I mean, I've got it in powder, Farm. It's
Oh, this is paste. Yeah.
McCormick's black garlic powder.
Caldy's giving you Maryland Presbyterian and St. Martin's Lutheran. Say they have a Meals on Wheels program.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I mean, Meals on Wheels. That's supposed to be a part of what I'm supposed to be getting. But like I said, like every fucking caseworker I've had is like, well, we gotta wait.
Why do
And
they have to wait if you're supposed to be getting it?
well, something is amiss in Maryland, Baltimore. I don't know what it is.
I'm dropping the ball.
It's probably bureaucracy.
Can you up it to a supervisor maybe, or I don't know.
Well, I
Or
mean,
call these churches because they may be independent, or they may tell
They're
you
independent. Yeah.
how to expedite
That's true
your
too.
program.
well,
But my
yeah,
phone, StreamYard just drains my phone, and it's going.
It does.
It's
from
going.
what I
But
heard, sorry to interrupt, but from what I
it's
heard
okay.
from one of these caseworkers, my last one, is that I gotta show them as much documentation as possible from the doctors, and I got to have that collected so that person that she could use it. You know what I mean?
United
Why
Way
can't you
might
just
be able
sign
to
an
help you.
authorization? Look, 211 too. I forgot about that. They're a resource line.
More I've never heard of 211. I probably accidentally dialed that at one point.
Well, next time that happens, ask them for Meals on Wheels.
But ladies and gentlemen, my phone's about to die, and I don't want to disappear without saying goodbye and thank you.
Take
Yeah,
care,
And
Jess. Take care of yourself.
I'll-
De-stress. Get some good sleep. Eat something good tonight.
thanks. You too. Thanks for the little pep talk. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
advocacy. I'm telling you, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I can do it for my kids. I can do it for myself. I know how to do it. But
Well, yeah, it's
thanks,
a learning
guys.
process, but do what you can, and then come here, and we can like figure out from there.
All
I
right.
used to do
Thanks,
this for a
guys.
living, so I know all the little advocacy tricks.
Nice to meet you, Jess. Have a
Nice
good
to meet you too. Nice to meet you too,
Best of luck.
Shameless. But you
Take
guys
care,
have
Jess.
a great night. Good night.
You too.
night.
Well, I don't know. Do you want to break?
I want to play my Cajun accordion.
You want to play us out?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. It
A little
might
bit.
be loud, it might be distorted, it might be choppy. Streaming art is probably not the best, but
I can wind it up for now and then maybe come. Oh my God! It's only. See, I thought it was like 9 or 10 at night. It's only 6:30 in the evening here.
yeah, it's
I'll
mine.
probably be back later.
All right, so
Wow, my sense of time is so off. Yeah, it's coming in muffled because of the thing,
what's
but
that?
but I appreciate it.
Is it coming through?
It didn't sound that muffled to me.
I leave to go to the store. There's, I leave when there's a reason to leave. There's usually not. There's not a lot that goes on where I am. This is probably the most exciting thing in my immediate neighborhood.
Well, in Washington, that sounds about right.
All right. Well, I guess we'll. Hey. All right.
Well, hopefully we'll see you a little bit later.
Yeah. I'll take a little break and come back. I'll be on
Come
here
back
later.
on, Jeff.
Yeah, I probably will. I'm sure I will. Chances are very high. If not, I'll definitely be out tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Well, take care, everybody. And right, yeah. And for me, it's not so much like fear or avoidance. It's just there's nothing to do. It's just a social wasteland. They're all woke.
All
All
right.
right. Take care, everybody. We
Later.
will see you again soon. I keep. See, I'm all self-conscious about keep. Oh yeah, go to hell. That's what I was. That's the thing. Good seeing everybody. Good hanging out. Good talking. Good catching up. Now go to hell. Go to hell, everybody. See you at the next one. To hell with you all. Go to hell.